what a welcome. I'm overwhelmed right now. This is just simply amazing, and I'm just looking forward to this journey with all of you together. Let's get on with the show. Good morning, Team KCPS. I cannot tell you how happy and honored I am to be here with all of you today. You all are the reason we're here. The work you do in the classroom each day for our kids makes you some of the most powerful people in the world. And as you know, with great power comes great responsibility. So we have to bring our A game. And that is what today is all about. Today is the day for us to get pumped up and excited for what this new school year will bring. And let me tell you something. I am excited. Are you? Yeah. So before I get started, I want to thank our Board of Education members for being here. Will you all please stand again so we can once again recognize you, and I can see you all here today. Thank you all so much for being such dedicated advocates of Team KCPS. I also want to thank my cabinet members for the continuous work they do each day to make sure supports are in place so that you all can concentrate on what's most important, your students' education. Will all of our cabinet members please stand to be acknowledged? Now let's talk about what it means to be an educator in the Kansas City public school system. There's a lot of history in this school district. Some parts are positive and exciting, while others still feel like they're looming over our heads to this day. You could say we have some fierce and healthy competition with charter schools, private schools, and the like. Our path to victory can seem narrow, but the reality is we are the ones who can rewrite history by taking risks in the classroom, by breaking down artificial barriers to success, and by going to bat for our kids. Being an educator in the Kansas City public school system means we have the privilege of serving a diverse population with differentiated needs. Being an educator in the Kansas City public school system means we have technology at our fingertips to help customize learning for each student in every classroom. And being an educator in the Kansas City public school system means we have the support of a multitude of business and community partners. Now, I don't know if you all got a chance to attend Summerfest this year, but wow, talk about feeling the support. The support of our neighbors. Can I get a round of applause for everyone, because there were many of you who came out to support our kids this past weekend. Many of you. Now, some people might call the KCPS story an underdog story. And I don't know if you realize, but just about everyone loves a good underdog story. From David and Goliath to the U.S. hockey team versus Russia in 1980, to Harry Potter and Baltimore, sometimes our greatest moments happen when no one is expecting them to. And that's what makes the underdog story so magical. So take a look at this slide. Now let me tell you a pretty exceptional underdog story. And I'm not just saying it's exceptional because it's about me growing up. I was definitely what you would call an underdog. I dropped out of school in the 2nd grade after my teacher told me I was dumb, ugly, and would never amount to anything. I begged for food on the corner in front of a liquor store. I was caught on the street by a truancy officer when I should have been in school. I was a ward of the state. I was homeless for portions of my freshman year in high school. I have failed multiple times in my life, yet I did not allow for those failures to shape my future in a negative way. I often tell people that failure is in essence the first attempt in learning. Most importantly, I made it out because I had people who came into my life at the right time, who cared about me, who showed me who I could be and what I was capable of. In fact, my 10th grade homeroom teacher, Mr. Berry, he managed to break down my defenses as a frustrated student who didn't trust anyone. And he was the one who made me believe that I could do more than I ever thought I could do. That's what a great teacher does. This is why I'm so passionate about mentoring and advocacy in KCPS. And we're going to roll out some of those programs in the near future. I can promise you that many of our students in Kansas City are not much different from me. And their stories can have happy endings too as a result of their interactions with each of you. I am living my dream. This is it, right here. Speaking of a dream, Mr. Barrett along with Ms. Braylock, who were two history teachers who took me under their wings and told me I'd be a teacher one day. Now I remember that conversation, and I told them they were lying. Because I was going to the NBA. I thought I was really that good. And in fact, I had an attempt to try out for the NBA. I just didn't get the call to come back. But in reality, being superintendent of KCPS, being on this stage in front of all of you, working to be a change agent for this school system and our kids is my dream realized. It is what I was born to do and what I've worked so hard to achieve. That is why I believe so strongly that I can do right by our district. And with the help of all of you, we can do right by the children of Kansas City Public School System. Now, take a quick look at this slide, and this gives us a little bit of an understanding of where we are with data. And as you can see, over the past several years, although this does not necessarily show our trend data, our school system is moving in the right direction. And under Dr. Green and Mr. Tunis's leadership, we have made some positive strides. But it is about time that we hit a full-fledged winning streak. In order to hit that winning streak, we not only have to become more innovative, we have to get intentional. What that means is that we need to have systems in place that empower every one of us to be leaders within our buildings, to be the best people that we can be each day for all kids. Therefore, as superintendent of this school system, I am giving all principals the autonomy and authority to make decisions that will allow for us to customize the learning experiences for students that we serve in our respective schools. So what does that mean for teachers? I know that our teachers have a tremendous amount of creativity and that they are gifted and talented. And this autonomy will give them an opportunity to create a culture, a climate in the culture in their classrooms that will establish an environment truly conducive to learning. Now, when you look at our numbers, do they say to you that we value all kids? And as you can see, these are just pictures of our kids in our school system. When you look at our numbers, do they say we value equity? Morality, character, and integrity must be at the foundation of every decision that we make. There must be a sense of urgency about addressing disparities in achievement. In order to do this, we must focus on getting our students excited about learning. Instead of focusing on how to prepare our students for state exams, we should ask, as Paige McGill said, what will they need to be successful in community and country? That's what's critical. We know we are succeeding in closing gaps when the backgrounds of students, including indicators such as race and class, cease to be predictors of achievement. And in doing so, we organically prepare them for those future exams. I know that in order to address resource gaps, we need to put supports in place to make sure you all get to do what you do best, and that's educate our young people. We are working with programs like Communities in School to support our students' development, both socially and emotionally. In addition, we have established partnerships with nonprofit entities like the Kaufman Foundation, Urban League, the Y, and Link, just to name a few. Furthermore, we are working with the police department to expand the Police Athletic League program, also known as PAL. As Chief Forte of the KCPD and I have discussed, the PAL program helps grow students not only physically, but once again socially and emotionally. Police officers have been known to help families on and off the athletic fields. And according to Chief Forte, the impact of that PAL has had on the lives of our urban core children, many of whom live in poverty, cannot be overstated. They also are a new generation of urban core residents who trust police and who have brought their family and friends to do so as well. And that is in contrast to a lot of communities and their police departments around the country. So that is something to be proud of here in Kansas City. Another initiative we hope to build in KCPS is growing our way to excellence from the ground up. Think about the story that I shared with you a few minutes ago regarding the two influential teachers in my life. This is a prime example of what can be done when we build positive relationships with kids. We want to develop teacher leaders from within our own school system. As we know, excellent teachers are hard to come by, and it is our responsibilities as educators to honor the profession and help support and identify prospective teachers within our own community. We need a workforce that is diverse, energetic, passionate, and culturally conscious, and I want us to grow our way to excellence. So we plan to implement more effective teacher professional development so that we can best utilize the skill sets we are capable of. For example, we need to build curriculum around the technology we are giving our kids. Technology is such an important tool in the classroom. It allows for you to differentiate among each student and meet kids where they are. With an education model that includes a digital component, we are able to reach many of our KCPS equity goals. It's about time that we started saying yes. I want us to work from a can-do lens, not from a deficit lens. I want us to be resilient. I want us to be service-oriented. Being service-oriented means being present. We only have 180 days to impact our kids before the start of the summer. So we need you. Your presence is needed. And I know working as a substitute teacher, substitute experience through university level experience, a substitute cannot fill your shoes. So we need you. And we need you here present. KCPS has been through a lot as a school system. But ultimately, our flexibility and our ability to recover from the past will help us better serve our children as we prepare them for their future. On July 24th, I retweeted a tweet with the following message. Positive relationship building and instruction begins on day one. And I replied to a comment from Justin Tarver who said, if you spend the first day of school outlining rules about what kids can't do, you are sending a message about what matters most to you. Now that's powerful. That really resonated with me because we want our kids to know that we have high expectations and that teaching and learning is at the forefront of how we conduct business, and that begins on day one. So take a look at this slide. Start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. Just because we aren't perfect doesn't mean we stop trying. This is our moment, folks. This is our time. It's our time to get in there and give it our all and prepare these children for the future. If not now, then when? Take a look at this. Embrace the fact that you are going to lead people to grow, and that's you all leading children to grow, and our administrators leading you all to grow in your profession. You're going to be wrong, and guess what, folks? It's okay. If you're not prepared to be wrong, you will never come up with anything original. So another thing that I've heard a lot about around this district is this ideal of fear. Fear of hierarchy, fear of repercussions, fear and ultimately fear of failure. But let me tell you something. It is time to toss those fears aside. Because in order to best serve kids, we have to be fearless in how we educate them. We have to be pioneers, and we have to demand and expect excellence. As leaders, we often need to try new things, test new theories, and even fail a couple of times in order to succeed. I remember writing my dissertation and thinking I would never get through it. And I had actually told my communication officer that I wanted to bring a copy to show you, but you know what, it was so red, it was bad, right? And then you think about what that first product looked like compared to that 146-page document that's now available for people to view and read. That's a process. That's what this is about. Teaching and learning is a process. They don't come in having everything together, because if they did, then they wouldn't need us. So as I stated earlier, I struggled and didn't know sometimes if I was going to make it through. But I fought back and came out on the other side. And that is what I'm charging you all to do today. Fight tirelessly for our kids and come out on the other side. As Henry Ford once said, failure is just the opportunity to begin again more intelligently. Our kids are depending on you, and they believe in you. Take a quick look at this video.
KCPS. I believe in KCPS. I believe in KCPS because we're constantly raising the rigor for all students. We understand that all those students have different needs. That doesn't mean that the standards need to change. We are always trying to find the right fit for every student so that every student can be successful.
I believe in KCPS because we have great students with great dreams.
I believe in KCPS because I think we're our future.
As an educator for the Kansas City Public Schools, I believe that we can soar to higher heights. I, myself, am a product of the Kansas City Public Schools. My children went to the Kansas City Public Schools. I worked for the Kansas City Public Schools for 28 years. I know what we can do, what we need to do to educate our children.
I believe in KCPS because the academic needs of all students, that's ALL, all students, is a priority.
I believe in KCPS because of the potential greatness of each of our students.
I believe in KCPS because the teaching is better.
I believe in KCPS because I think there's a lot of new people trying to do a lot of good things for a lot of good kids.
I believe in KCPS. I believe in KCPS.
Team Bedell, believe in KCPS.
If you know this, but there is something really special and really powerful in being able to stand tall, stand proud, and look forward toward the future. I see the future of Kansas City Public Schools in the faces of kids like Omari, a student from AC Prep who came to me wanting to shadow me and offer suggestions on how we could improve to better serve children. I see the future of Kansas City schools and the students learning Mandarin at the Foreign Language Academy, who will get careers and fields we haven't even heard of yet. And I see the future of Kansas City schools and my own kids. And let me tell you something, the future is bright. Jalen, Aaron, and Cameron are going to KCPS schools because I believe in that KCPS schools are where my kids are going. I believe in KCPS. Do you? Do you? In the coming months, I will be visiting your schools and I want to talk to you. I want you to tell me what is working within the Kansas City Public School system and where there are opportunities for us to grow. We plan to engage you in the community at large in our 5-year strategic planning process, so stay tuned for upcoming updates. In addition, help me to understand what you think and what it will take for our kids to be successful, because ultimately, as your superintendent, I am here to serve you. And we want to recognize you. We are going to make sure you know that you are appreciated. We'll have a Teacher of the Year and a Principal of the Year gala. We will have an employee recognition program. And we will also host several teacher town hall meetings. Actually, one in the fall and one in the spring. You are the experts on your kids, your parents, your school community, and I am depending on you, and so are they. Now look at these faces. How can we not move with urgency? How can we not ensure a bright outlook for every single child who walks through our doors? And I will leave you with this quote from our Commander-in-Chief. We were founded on the idea that everybody should have an equal opportunity to succeed. No matter who you are, what you look like, where you come from, you can make it. That's an essential promise of America. Where you start should not determine where you end up. President Barack Obama. Now let me reiterate. Where you start does not determine where you end up. And it is our job to make sure that our kids have positive outcomes and that their KCPS careers end on a high note. All right, Team KCPS, game on.